everyone. This is Sam, another Spontaneous Show podcast. I'm really happy to be today with Pierre Luc, and the subject today is Bitcoin is the quantum canary in danger. So, Pierre Luc, welcome. How are you?
Well, I'm doing good, Sam. Happy to be on your show.
Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy to have you. So, could you please introduce yourself briefly for the community?
I'm Pierre Luc Dallaire-Demers. I've been in quantum computing since 2006. I touch almost like all the aspects of the field, and since 2021, what we're seeing is that quantum computers are scaling fast, such that they may be a threat to cryptography in the next 5 to 10 years. And since 2021, I founded Polygroup with the goal of upgrading blockchains to resist quantum computers. Um,
Fantastic.
and also, like right now, I'm also a scientist at the University of Calgary for quantum resistant communication.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah, such a good background and experience and passion, of course. So, Pierre-Luc, for our listeners who may not be familiar with quantum computing, could you briefly explain like what is and how it different from classical computing?
Yeah. So quantum computers are a more general paradigm of computation. Contrary to classical computer, in a classical computer, the information is represented by transistors. So they can be zero or one. It's a switch. But in quantum computers, we use the microscopic rules of quantum mechanics to generalize the information and use qubits. So qubits can be in 0, 1 or superposition of 0 and 1.
Yes.
And as soon as you have many of those qubits, then like the ensemble of them can be in the superposition of all the possible states at the same time, which allows you to um, uh, do calculation in some sense on all the possibilities at the same time and extract one answer out of the problem. And that's actually how we attack cryptography. For some types of cryptography, we essentially can take all the possibilities and extract the precise key, which will decode like the secret message.
That's
And
fantastic. So,
this is
yeah, go ahead.
something
Sorry.
we've done with classical computers. With classical computers, it would take more than the age of the universe.
Yeah, I think based on the last stat I have read, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I think like a problem with classic fast computing taking 10 years with a quantum computing can take 2 years to execute, more or less, of course, average with all reserve.
It's probably going to be more like an hour versus the age of the universe.
Yes, an hour versus
It makes
that's better.
yeah, it makes it makes a difference between being able to do it and not. That's
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. And earlier you talked about cryptography. Could you please develop a little bit like how may these differences impact like the world of cryptography and digital currencies?
Yeah. So, uh, blockchain, like cryptocurrencies, the crypto is for cryptography, of course, and the cryptography which is mostly impacted by quantum computers is public key cryptography. So, public key cryptography is the part that is used to identify you. So, you prove your identity when you sign a cryptographic message or a transaction on blockchains. You are essentially proving that you own those coins and you are sending them to like some external party. And the this is the this is a cryptography that like hashing, like the mining is relatively safe, but the public key cryptography itself is not safe. And often people will say, "Oh, like, but if they can break banks, like if they can break Bitcoin, then they will break banks or like nuclear bombs or like the internet before they break
Yes.
Bitcoin." That's not what will happen for the reason that in some sense Bitcoin will be kind of be a canary, so it will break first. For the reason that first banks have already started to migrate toward cryptography, which is known to resist which is known to resist quantum computers.
Yes.
Like the military, everyone, the telecommunication have started upgrading. And they also all use cryptography, which is just more robust, a bit more robust to quantum computers. And it's a contingency of history. Like when Satoshi picked the cryptography for signing transaction in 2008 on Bitcoin,
Yes.
he chose efficiency over quantum resistance. So he essentially picked the method. He may not have known at the time, but he was picking the method which would be the easiest to break. And Bitcoin cryptocurrencies have a massive valuation now, so they become extremely attractive targets for companies or countries building large quantum computers, who for who it will cost a lot less to build a quantum computer and say take the 1 million bitcoins of Satoshi than going to purchase them. So like it's the large quantum computer is going to be a few $1 billion, whereas there's like $100 billion bounty of Satoshi like sitting right there on the blockchain.
So him or they, Satoshi. You've described Bitcoin, and we had conversation like many times together about like always you. I like your analogy. Always you said like quantum canary is in danger. So can you please elaborate on this metaphor and explain why you believe Bitcoin may be particularly vulnerable to quantum computing advancements? Also, of course, other crypto.
Yeah. So on top of the fact that the cryptography is the easiest to break, the real difficulty for Bitcoin will be to migrate toward a set of cryptography which will resist quantum computers. For the reason that, say, the banks, the telecom, the RB, if they want to upgrade their cryptography, they flip a switch and everyone upgrade. Like your password won't change, the internet, like the little lock at the top of your browser. Right now, it's already post-quantum cryptography on Google Chrome, and like they upgraded and no one saw it. The difference for Bitcoin being a decentralized system, it's a strength in the sense that no one can arbitrarily control it and change a rule. It's a weakness when comes the time to upgrade the cryptography because everyone has to agree toward which are going to be the new methods implemented. Once we implement them, it's not just a switch in the software. Everyone has to, since everyone has their assets in addresses which will be vulnerable at some point, they all need to take their stuff and move them to something more secure. So on which we will add more locks essentially. So like there's the current cryptography, and there will be extra cryptography added on an extra lock added on top, such that like at least if one breaks, there's still the other one. But this makes first it makes Bitcoin, the upgrade of Bitcoin, longer and more difficult to just coordinate. There's like the massive size of the bounty. There's the easier cryptography to break, which really makes Bitcoin probably one of the first infrastructure which will be possible to attack with quantum computers. So like we already started to see very, very old wallets, like from the first week of Bitcoin, when it had zero value, like they started to be drained already. So either it's a very ancient whale who decided to exit everything now, or there's a big quantum computer somewhere in the bunker.
Wow.
So yeah, and it will probably be ambiguous at the beginning. So like maybe like a bunch of very early address will like slowly start moving. Like is it whales? Is it something else? At some point, as the machines get bigger, like there may be a cascade, and this can be, depending on the intention of the attacker, this can be dangerous for the blockchains because they can either make a national strategic reserve or attack large exchange and send the price to zero. So like Bitcoin becomes at the mercy of quantum effect.
It's a target asset for sure. And so based on what you're saying, for sure, you're going to see a tremendous difference in wallet management. But how do you compare like the potential risks that quantum computing poses to traditional fiat currencies versus cryptocurrencies? Because a lot of people like they're not. We talk to for crypto people, but we have also in the community people like they think it's only cryptocurrency in danger, right?
Banks will also be at risk, but they already started upgrading. So in some sense, like the old chain of communication between you and the bank is already is largely upgraded already. So like your browser is upgraded, the bank itself, like it's a centralized Excel sheet, but like everything in between is already encrypted. So that makes the work extremely difficult for attackers. Whereas for blockchains, the attackers can download a copy of the ledger and he has everyone's keys, like everyone's public keys, which makes the collection of the data to attack completely trivial. Whereas getting the keys out of the bank, you probably need some people to extract them. Like it makes attacks much more complicated, but still possible, but much more complicated for centralized institutions.
For centralized institution, makes sense. So what steps are being taken in the cryptocurrency industry to develop quantum resistance wallet, and what features or technologies should user looks for to ensure like their digital assets remain secure in the post-quantum world? I think this is your subject, right?
Yeah. Quantum vaults. So quantum resistant vault. So at Pauli Group, we did the first quantum resistant vault on Ethereum. So like we're using actually cryptography, which is older than the one that was used. Like it has never been broken. It's just like much larger keys. So like people don't use it. People choose before the smaller one because it was more efficient. But we just like rewinded the clock a bit, reuse the big keys, and it allows us to secure everything on any any EVM chain, so any Ethereum chains related to Binance or Polygon, like every coins, asset, NFTs, name it, smart contracts, we can already all protect this, so we can protect the ownership. On other chains, like on Solana, there has been a demonstration yet of quantum vaults, but like not a deployment of like the wallets that implement them. On Bitcoin, since last year, we are starting to see the seeds of the beginning of a solution. So like there are two important BIPs, so Bitcoin improvement proposals. There's BIP 360, which propose to add quantum resistant addresses to Bitcoin and add the new methods developed from the standard institutions. And there's also an approach to also implement vaults, quantum-resistant vaults, as we do on Bitcoin, which requires the activation of OPCAT, so which is BIP 420. They nicely picked their number, and the OPCAT was already in Bitcoin in 2010. Satoshi removed it at the time for efficiency. And now people are considering reintroducing OPCAT in the code base to a fork, such that it would enable some functionalities to Bitcoin, and also more critically, it would enable quantum vaults. From which point we can start the migration. So this is the difficulty with Bitcoin. It's really like the system was not meant to be upgraded, so there will need to be a fork one way or another. Ideally this year or by next year at the latest. Such that we can start to upgrade people. There's 100 million wallets more than 100 million wallets to upgrade. The network supports 7 transactions per second. So even if we all upgrade everyone at the same time, just the network will take months just to process like the order of just the transfer of assets, like the movement of assets. In practice, it's going to take years. So like not everyone will upgrade at the same time. Like it will take years. So it's rather critical that the community comes together and decide on the approach to be enabled in the next at most 2 years to make it on time.
So we should start 1 year ago.
We should really start yesterday.
Is the validation process will be, because we saw like some slow and small evolution in Bitcoin, like the Bitcoin stem process and others, everything will be today challenged based on what happened, if I understand correctly the situation. So as a crypto optimist, I think we have to take seriously your message today. Can we, so for sure we'll share contact, your LinkedIn and your website. Can we touch base in your project and support you with your project? So what are you looking for today?
Yeah, so first I encourage you to download our quantum resistant vault on Ethereum. So go to anchorwallet.ca. Now we even have it as a Chrome plugin similar to MetaMask that allows you to secure everything on the Ethereum side. And also we are fundraising. We want to make a general purpose quantum resistant hardware wallet such that we will be ready to secure to have the most secure possible endpoints for those who are starting to upgrade. We are raising $3 million right now, and we want to have like those wallets on the market in your hands in 2 years. So that's the goal. And if you're interested, reach out, please.
Makes sense. So I will share your contact. So guys, Pierre Luc is proud. I'm proud to have Pierre Luc today because you work hard, you have patience, and this project like is not only today will help only crypto, but will help a lot of other financial institutions to see this model because blockchain and crypto is the future. Let's be honest and let's be clear. Revolution take time, and we are advancing in the revolution. Thank you so much, Pierre Luc. I'll share your LinkedIn and your website, the link to your wallet, to our community. And we keep in touch, man. And by the way, you'll be speaking virtually to Quantum event like the Chain Chapter Wednesday 15th, right, in District 3. So guys, this is another opportunity to connect with Pierre Luc. And yeah, I wish you all the best, all success, man.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Hall.
Thank you. Thank you.